Hi, my name is Goldbeer, and let's start with Serious Sam 4. What if we make a shooter game but completely overpopulated with enemies? Then we get Serious Sam games with never-ending action and unstoppable carnage everywhere you go. So in Serious Sam 4, the iconic cast of alien invaders returns with new reinforcements, and you will have to slay them all, and you will. The game also supports co-op mode, so you can play with 3 friends and enjoy the action together. Although that number of friends nowadays is a bit unrealistic. Most of us don't even have 3 imaginary friends, so this number is a bit fictional. Anyway, single player is awesome as well. The game has a very positive review score on Steam. Also, you can try all the Serious Sam games. Most of them have even better review scores and are loved more by players, but they are a bit outdated and someone else's nostalgia isn't making them better if you never play them. Blair Witch. I never played the game myself because I expected it to be very scary, so I watched the entire playthrough on YouTube. I really love watching horror games being played by people with way bigger balls than I have. So what can I say? Blair Witch is not a very scary game. It is dark and psychologically challenging, but the level of horror isn't very high. I could probably play it without much struggle. The game itself is quite linear, so don't expect much action. All you'll do here is hold the W key, sometimes relaxed and sometimes you will press way harder, depending on the situation of course. So basically it is a walking simulator with menacing and beautiful visuals. Anyway, the story starts in 1996. A young boy disappears in the forest, and you, a former police officer with a troubled past, join the search. What starts as an ordinary investigation soon turns into an endless nightmare as you confront your fears and the Blair Witch herself, a mysterious force that haunts the woods. Creepy but very fun.
A Little Nightmares.
This is one of the best side-scrolling games I have ever played. Its dark and vicious atmosphere, strange creatures and grotesque world kept my attention for many hours. You'll help the protagonist to escape the maw, a vast, mysterious vessel inhabited by scary corrupted souls looking for their next meal. Not as scary as pineapple in the potato salad, but still kinda terrifying. As you progress on your journey, you explore the most disturbing dollhouse playground full of secrets to discover. You'll reconnect with your inner child to unleash your imagination and find the way out. Creepy vibes guaranteed. Generation Zero. It may not be the best game on this list. It holds only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but the setting and the atmosphere of the game is really worthy of your attention. Honestly, the game was really hyped upon a release, and when people didn't get a masterpiece, bad reviews started to flow. That is a story of many games, and Generation Zero definitely doesn't deserve that, because it may not be a masterpiece, but it's not a bad game as well. Here you will explore alternative Sweden in 1989. One day, Swedes woke up early in the morning and saw that their beloved Sverige is overrun by evil robots. Where did they came from? Who made them? Nobody knows. Probably evil Norwegians who were envious of Swedish reindeer herds. Everyone knows that casual Swedish deer produces 7 times the amount of milk than Norwegian deer does. Even the males. That is the fact. Trust me, every Swede in the comments can confirm that. Anyway, the price is really wallet friendly, and most people who left a review on Steam have from 10 to a few hundred hours of playtime on record. Strange Horticulture. Here you'll find and identify new plants, pet your cat, speak to a coven, or join a cult. Use your growing collection to influence the story and unravel dark mysteries. You are a citizen of a charming town surrounded by hag-infested forest and rugged mountains. You are the horticulturist, owner of a local plant store. As a cast of colorful customers come by your shop, you are quickly thrust into an occult mystery stretching back hundreds of years. Explore the lands beyond your store to find new plants, but be careful. The dark woods and lakes are not always friendly to a simple herbalist. You might discover powers beyond your wildest nightmares, or lose your mind completely. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score. It's a true masterpiece. If you like interesting, non-cliché stuff, it's a must-play for you. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing Final Cut. This is definitely one of the most known action RPGs out there. This version of the game is a collection of 3 standalone episodes told as one continuous story, with 6 playable classes and a new endgame mode with a huge variety of open missions. People on Steam are saying that this is a very addictive game. Not as addictive as potato salad, but there is a huge chance that you will have a lot of great time, although it has some minor problems, lame targeting system and a bit shallow character builds. Also, you may encounter some bugs and glitches along the way as well. But anyway, this game is really entertaining and also huge. The campaign is offering over 50 hours of gameplay. Also, if you are in doubt, you can download a free demo version at first and try it out. Ghostwire Tokyo. Here the city is overrun by deadly supernatural forces after 99% of the population just vanished, so you will use a powerful arsenal of spectral abilities to fight the paranormal threat and unravel the mystery behind the mass disappearance. It may sound and look a bit like a horror game, but the main emphasis is not on the horror, rather on the fast-paced gameplay where you use your powerful abilities and can fight various ghosts like a true Ghostbuster, or more like a Ghost Eliminator, because you kill them.
How can you kill somebody who's already dead?
Oh, shut up, it's not a science game. And seriously, the game has a rating that allows 12-year-olds to play, so grow your mental balls and dive in. Creepy Tale. This is a hand-drawn short adventure game with creepy and at the same time lovely illustrations. Here suddenly everything turns into horror and drags you into a series of terrible events. Your brother has been kidnapped and you are left face to face with an ominous forest filled with dangers and strange creatures. You will have to solve the puzzles that you meet on the way. Do not let yourself be caught and save your brother. Also find out the dark story that befell the once calm and peaceful forest, turning it into a creepy place filled with evil. And by saying evil, I don't mean pineapple on pizza or in potato salad level of evil. Nothing is that evil. People are saying that this game is charming and will suffice as a bedtime story before you sleep. It's only 2.5 hours long, in other words, short enough to keep your attention the whole time. Hellpoint. This is a dark action RPG set in a heavily atmospheric sci-fi universe where the line between science and occultism is blurred. Once a pinnacle of human achievement, the Irid Novo space station has fallen. Its ruins are now overrun by cruel, interdimensional entities acting as puppets of the malevolent cosmic gods. That sounds very Lovecraftian, and cosmic horror is one of my favorite things, along with boobs and potato salad. People are talking that this game is a hybrid between Dark Souls and Dead Space. But I played it and it's literally just another Dark Souls game. Yeah, it's in space, but you know, whatever. Actually, if you want, you can play one chapter for free. You can find Hellpoint the Thespian Feast on Steam. The game itself has around 80% of positive reviews, so it's an okay game. Nothing fancy about it, but you can enjoy it for a few hours if you are a fan of Souls-like mechanics. Also, a controller is a must. Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Daemonhunters. A nice title for turn-based game lovers. Here you will lead humanity's greatest weapon, the Grey Knights, against the corrupting forces of chaos in this brutal and fast-paced RPG. Yeah, somehow turn-based can be fast-paced as well.
Deal with it.
So here you will root out and put a stop to an insidious plot to infect the galaxy with a bloom, an intergalactic cosmic plague capable of rotting worlds into oblivion. Armored with fate, shielded by devotion, your company's very existence is rooted in mystery and forced with mind wipes and executions. You will experience life in the 41st millennium and follow the journey of these elite warriors in a narrative-driven gameplay. Sunless Sea. This is a horror gothic game. Here you'll be able to explore the Victorian Gothic universe of fallen London, with a focus on exploration and exquisite storytelling. But be careful, some trips might lead you to a certain death, or worse, cannibalism, or the worst, lack of potato salad. Anyways, people really enjoy the beautiful art of this game. Here you'll also meet some very well painted Lovecraftian sea monsters, and the whole vibe in general is very ominous. Even though you will have to read walls of text here, you will do that with joy because the writing is fantastic. But don't expect fancy combat or fast plot lines full of exciting events. No, game is slow, but the brilliant storyline, writing quality, and world building aspects are all handled very well. The only downside is, since you will die a lot, you will have to start over. If the giant crabs, sentient icebergs, and swarms of bats don't get you, madness and cannibalism certainly will. And those nicely written texts won't seem as nice to read for the 10th time. Sunless Sea is more like choosing your own adventure novel than a game. If you like slow-paced, story-rich games, then get in the boat and try to fish the biggest marinated herring you can find. Yes, they come from sea already marinated, if you're lucky enough. Doom Eternal. Definitely, this is one of the most entertaining first-person shooter games ever. Here, Hell's army has invaded Earth, and you must show those puny demons the way home. And by the way home, I mean you have to splash their intestines all over the place, walk in their blood, and be as awesome as humanly possible. There are only a few games with such entertaining combat as Doom Eternal, but it also has a big flaw almost everybody hates. That is platforming. Yeah, here you occasionally have to jump over rivers of lava, climb walls, and make precision leaps over and over again. That stuff is completely not cool when you play in the first person. I don't know why John Romero decided to ditch the Doom franchise and instead went and made Empire of Sin with only 49% of positive reviews on Steam, but I can feel with my butt that if he was in charge, the platforming part of Doom Eternal would be gone. Anyway, I do recommend the game. The price is fantastic. Mad Max. This is without a doubt one of the best open-world games on Steam. More than 90% of positive reviews are here for a reason. You will play as a lone warrior in a savage post-apocalyptic world where cars are the most important thing, the very key to survival. So in Mad Max you will have the same mindset as my neighbor Ginteres, who fixes his car every day, polishes the paint and spends more time with it than with his own wife. But the balance in nature is always around the corner. My other neighbor Darius has no car, so he spends time with Ginteres' wife. Everyone is happy. Anyway, in Mad Max you will find an action-packed open world where you must fight against vicious gangs of bandits to stay alive in the wasteland. You want nothing more than to leave the madness behind and find solace in the mythical plains of silence. Along the way in your search, you are challenged with treacherous missions as you scavenge the dangerous landscape for supplies to build the ultimate combat vehicle of your dreams. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Game of the Year Edition. In the first part of Middle-earth, you will fight through Mordor and uncover the secret of the spirit that compels you. You will discover the origins of the Rings of Power, build your legend, and ultimately confront the evil of Sauron. The best thing about playing Shadow of Mordor is that it makes you feel overpowered without sacrificing the fear of defeat. You will enjoy great fast-paced combat and a nice good-looking open world full of Lord of the Rings lore. If you are a fan of Tolkien's books or Lord of the Rings movies, then this game will for sure do a little bit extra to make you happy. The plot of the game is okayish, you will find nothing very fancy or mind-blowing here. Despite that, the flow, the pace of the game will not let you get bored, that's for sure. And this version of the game includes new missions. You will have to face Sauron's elite defenders before the Black Gate, dive deeper into Mordor's living world and hunt the wild beasts, and battle against Sauron as Celebrimbor, the great elven lord of the Second Age, to unlock powerful runes and the ability to wield the One Ring. That is awesome, and the game is awesome as well. Unbound: Worlds Apart. This is a challenging, atmospheric and hand-drawn puzzle platformer set in a universe where all worlds are connected by portals. You control a gifted young mage who has the power to open portals and control the unique properties of each world, such as inverse gravity, time manipulation, super strength, and more. Using these skills, you must journey across dangerous worlds, each brimming with secrets and unique challenges. You must use every skill to defeat a ruthless evil that is tearing reality apart, while learning the shocking truth beyond your world's collapse. Spoilers, it was a lack of potato salad. I'm kidding, of course.
Or am I?
Wytchwood. This is a crafting adventure set in an expressive land of gothic fables and fairy tales. As the mysterious old witch of the woods, you will have to explore a strange countryside, collect magical ingredients, brew sorcerous enchantments, and pass your twisted judgment upon a capricious cast of characters and creatures. You know, the forest inhabitants has to respect you, and by respect, I mean fear. Nah, just kidding. Or am I? Yes I am. This is a wonderful handcrafted game, but don't let the joyful facade fool you. The game is quite complex. You will have to collect, gather, grow and craft bizarre ingredients like bottled fear. Don't mix it up with your daily morning gulp of whiskey. You will spend your day trembling under the table. Anyway, you will research and concoct devious spells and sorceries. Turn the greedy into frogs or into something way worse, like pineapples. Trick the wicked with cunning curses and explore an allegorical world of tales. Uncover colorful personas and interesting magic-infused narratives. People who play this game a lot are saying that it is very cozy, funny and beautiful game, although a bit too easy and dialogue sometimes feel endless. The Forest. How strong are your balls? I guess this is not the question you hear every day. Well, I really hope not, because if you do, you need help. Anyway, I'm not talking about your strange family, I'm talking about the forest. This game will ask you this question over and over again, because alongside the sandbox part, where you cut the trees, lay traps, build houses and free roam the whole world, there is that flesh-eating cannibal part of the game, where you have to defend yourself against a clan of genetic mutant enemies. They are not just usual monsters you can shoot without any regret. They have beliefs, families, morals, and appear almost human. You can still shoot them without any regret anyway, who cares? But the one thing is for sure here, nights are scary in the forest, so you'll need really tough mental balls to survive them. Amnesia Rebirth. I admit that I am a and I have never played the game. I watched Markiplier playing it and it was quite a fun experience. It has all the creepy vibes previous Amnesia games had, but it is a bit less scary. I was expecting, you know, the level of horror we all felt in the first Amnesia: The Dark Descent, but Rebirth is only about 30% of that. The good thing is that if you are like me, you can probably play the game without having a heart attack. But the bad thing, at least for me, was that this time you are a pregnant woman. That sounds kinda sexistic, but let me explain, it's actually not. I just can't immerse myself in the role of a pregnant woman. I lack empathy, and if you are a man, there is a big chance that you can't do that as well. You know, I don't care about her baby, so that creepiness level is way lower for men who are playing the game and probably way higher for female players, especially pregnant ones, although I really doubt that they are the target audience though, as someone in the comments said that Rebirth is the true definition of
not great or terrible.
Despite that, it is a really beautiful game with a great story, environments and some spooky stuff in general, and this price is just about right to get your filthy fingers on it. The Isle. So let's start with the fact that this is an MMO game, but it's very different from anything you have ever played. You aren't a human thrown into ancient times, but an actual dinosaur here. When joining the Isle, you can play as one of dozens of unique creatures, from tiny herbivores to bloodthirsty giants such as T-Rex, Allosaurus or almighty Penisoraptor. Well, the latter may not be in-game, but you never know. As a dinosaur, you will be the epitome of majestic, cunning and ferocious. You will use your natural abilities and senses to stay off the menu and grow into a stronger, more capable creature. You will engage in a living prehistoric ecosystem as you become either a predator or prey, on servers featuring up to 100 players, all of them as hungry and dangerous as you are. People on Steam are talking that before you play, do a research about the servers you are joining in. Some are very lame and some have cool people running them with an actual population of 100 players. Hollow Knight. You'll explore twisting caverns, ancient cities and deadly wastes, encounter battle-tainted creatures, befriend bizarre bugs and solve ancient mysteries at the kingdom's heart. Game is hard and is often compared to Dark Souls. Keep that in mind before you fall in love with those lovely graphics. They are quite deadly. Although if you don't like bugs, you will get your chance to kill a few hundred of them, or be killed by them. Yeah, that is more likely. There are a lot of bug-like different creatures infesting these lands, and only you can exterminate them with your gaming skills. There are also plenty of good bugs as well, so I don't know what this game tries to teach us. I guess be friends with friends and be enemies with enemies.
Wisdom, yeah.
Death Trash. This game is awesome. It is set in a semi-open world divided into a few zones. You will spend a lot of time in underground facilities and dungeons as well, but it has a completely different approach to narrative compared to casual games. You never know what to expect. Also, here you will encounter extensive player freedom, from manual save games to the fact that any dialogue can be left anytime. Also, here you can kill everyone or don't kill anyone. That is the spirit. That is the cash of Death Trash. Highly recommended, especially if you like games like Diablo with a hint of pixel art. Okay, with a lot of pixel art. Remnant from the Ashes. This is a third-person RPG shooter. Here the world has been thrown into a chaos by an ancient evil from another dimension. As gamers on Steam pointed out, they just ripped off a plot from Neverending Story. That's a shame, but in general this is a great game. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be RPG Dark Souls with guns. Yes, that is a one word if you throw out the spaces between them, and I did so, sue me. So here, as one of the last remnants of humanity, you must set out alone or alongside up to 2 other survivors, and then face down hordes of deadly enemies enemies, rebuild and retake what was lost. The strongest side of the game is the various guns and weapons. They're really good looking and fun to use. You know how in some other games you get a nice looking gun, but there is no real satisfaction to shoot it? Well, that's not the case in Remnant. Also, people are praising the Great Co-op mode, so you can play the game with your mother-in-law and do some nice bonding together. DayZ. As developers say, this is a hardcore open-world multiplayer survival game with only one rule: stay alive no matter what. I don't know, usually I don't need a game to follow this rule. I'm staying alive no matter what in real life as well. Anyway, in DayZ this task is a bit more difficult. With a myriad of threats lurking around every corner, that may be easier said than done. You will not find any checkpoints or saves. When you die, you lose everything and have to start over. But you will find this dying and starting over thingy quite entertaining because of complex survival mechanics, including hunting, building, crafting, health preservation and resource management. Also unpredictable and often emotional interactions with other players. And did I mention zombies? That Z in DayZ is absolutely legit. The game has zombies. You know, it's not some JZ.
Imposter?
So you may encounter some undead, but you will probably die from a zillion other reasons, so don't worry about them so much. The bad thing is that the game is multiplayer only, and as it happens with multiplayer games, you can run into a cheater or two. Or three. You know, that sucks. Sea Salt. It's a dark fantasy reverse horror action strategy game with a comfy horror vibe where you play as a nightmarish force of Dagon, the Eldritch god. You will be controlling an ever-growing horde of evil minions. To say short, you are evil and you slay good guys. That is very nice, I like that. Game looks easy at the beginning, you just run after some weaponless guys and tear them to pieces. But later it gets harder and harder.
That's what she said.
And then everything in your control dies horribly. To be short, it's a great game. I have reviewed this game in my channel, and back then I gave the game 8 cold beers out of 10, which is a really high amount of imaginary alcohol. Batman Arkham Knight Premium Edition. Here, obviously, you will become Batman. The game comes with the introduction of the Batmobile and enhancements to signature features, such as free-flow combat, stealth, forensics, and navigation. The main feature, the Batmobile, is brought to life with an original design featuring a distinct visual appearance and a full range of high-tech gadgetry. It is designed to be fully drivable throughout the game world and capable of transformation from high-speed pursuit mode to military-grade battle mode. Vehicle sits at the heart of the game's design and allows you to race the streets at high speeds and catch most dangerous villains. Batmobile also augments your abilities in every aspect, from navigation and forensics to combat and puzzle solving. People on Steam are saying that Arkham Knight looks better than most games today and is immensely fun. The reviews are around 90%. The game is great. And now, thank you for watching, and also don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel for more videos like that. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.